So last class we stopped at multiple assignment. You all saw how to assign multiple values to multiple variables. And then I showed you all an example of how to assign same value to multiple variables. These were the two slides that somehow did not appear on the screen last class. So please have a look at it right now. Welcome back to your computer science class. And I hope you all are doing fine. Okay, so these were the two things that we covered last time. We move further now. Okay, so look at this one also. Okay, we haven't done the print function correctly yet. So you can write print and then whatever you write in the brackets is generally printed. But over here, and whatever you write in the brackets is generally in quotes, single quote or double quote. But that is a string. But if you want to print something that is not a string, something that is a variable, you can directly use the variable name. And you know, if you put a comma, it's going to be separated with a space. Okay. Now, if you look at this, you all remember we did the swap, swap values variable thing. We took AB and then we swapped it. Well, we can do the same thing in this sentence over here, PQ equals to Q comma P. In this, the values will automatically be swapped because PQ have already got the values of 5 and 10. And then when you say PQ equals to QP, this is how the assignment starts. It will start assigning from the left to right. So expressions separated by commas are evaluated from left to right. So first it will pass the value to variable P. Okay, and then it will pass the value to variable Q. Let's see this live. Okay. So let's say I have P comma Q equals to 70 comma 80. Okay. So right now if I say print P comma Q, it's going to tell me 70, 80. But if I say P comma, now if I say P comma, if I say P comma Q equals to Q comma P, values will swap. How will it work? Q's value is 80. So consider this 80. This 80 will go and save in P. Now, P's value is 70. Okay, so when Q will get the value, this 70 will first go here and then this 80 will go here. So now if I say print P comma Q, it will print 80, 70 and it's a swap. So we have swapped values of two variables, okay, without using a third variable. Yes, initially if we did it the longer way, we would go something like P equals to 70, Q equals to 80, then you would say P equals to Q. Yes, and after this, if I try and say Q equals to P, I'm going to get an error. Let's see what I get now. Both of them will have the same value. Yes, because when I did P equals to Q, the value of P changed in this sentence. And then the new value went to Q. But over here, when I did it in one sentence, this was still the old value. Okay, it had not completely evaluated the sentence. This is very important to understand. Okay, so multiple assignment is very helpful. Okay, next is this. So can you do this mentally, this part? A plus 1, B plus 2, C minus 1. I've given values to A, B, C as 5, 10, 7. Then I say b equals to a plus 1. So b becomes 6. C equals to b plus 2. Take the old value of b. Okay, so that's 10. It will become 12. Yes. And then I say a becomes b plus 2. So 10 plus 2 is 12. And then I say a equals to, sorry, b. Then I say a equals to c minus 1. C minus 1 is 7, 1 minus 1 is 6. Now, when I'm printing ABC. Over here, when I'm printing ABC. Over here, we are printing ABC. But when I was changing the values, I was changing it from BCA. So first B changed to 6. The first B changed to 6. Then C also changed to 6. Sorry, C changed to 12. 10 plus 2, na? And this was 7 minus 1 was 6. And when I was printing it, I print ABC. So 6, 6, 12. You have got this? Yeah? Okay. So practice this class, okay? Now, next we move further. Let's say x equals to 10. And then I'm writing expressions separated by comma are evaluated from left to right. So y comma y equals to x plus 2 comma x plus 5. And then I have y comma y equals to 12 comma 15. So what will happen is, first it will assign y to 12, then y to 15. And then when we print y, it will print 15. Let's practice this also. So I had x equals to 10. Then we did y equals y comma y equals to x plus 2 comma x plus 5. So y first became 12 and then y became 15. Now if I'm going to print the value of y, I will get 15, which is the next value. Okay. Again, I will show you all this example. X equals to 9. Y comma y comma y comma y equals to x plus 1 comma x minus 1 comma x multiplied by 1 comma x multiplied by 0. Oh, I did the capital letter, na? Plus 1 comma x minus 1 comma x multiplied by 1 comma x multiplied by 0. Doing the same mistake again and again, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Now what will be the value of y? It'll be 0 because that's the last value it got. Understood how this works? I hope you all have understood how this works. Expressions separated by commas are evaluated from left to right. Okay, from left to right. That means the rightmost will be the last one. Now we come to dynamic typing. What I have been telling you since so long, you all have heard. Today we'll finally learn dynamic typing. In dynamic typing, a variable pointing to a value of certain type can be made to point to a value of different type. This is called dynamic typing. So what basically happens in this is, it is possible that initially the variable was pointing to something that said was an integer type. Later, it is now pointing to something that is string type. So automatically the type of data in the variable has changed. So the variable type will also automatically change. This is called as dynamic typing. Okay, so over here I have x equals to 10, and then I change the value of x using the assignment operator to reassign values to x as hello world. So now x points to a string type value, which is hello world. So this is called dynamic typing, where it automatically understands what value is there. Okay, so x was equal to 10, and later on we changed it and we pointed towards hello world. So this is called dynamic typing, where the type of variable is automatically understood by the Python interpreter. Okay, error. String cannot be divided. This is very important. So you will be getting some errors with dynamic typing. You cannot divide a string. You said value of string is day. Even if I tell you in an English class tomorrow, okay, take the day of the, let's say Wednesday divided by 2, you are not going to understand. And you want my computer to understand. These are the kind of errors you all are going to do day in and day out. So please understand this very well. You cannot divide a string. If you want to do y equals to x divided by 2, you have to give a numerical value to x. Only then my computer will divide and put value to y. Na? Yes? Type function. Let's come to type function. We did this last class actually. If you all remember, there were 3 things of a variable we did: type, ID, and value. So this is the type function. What does the type function help us to do? To know the data type of the value which it is pointing to. To know the data type of a value which is pointing using the type variable. Okay. So a equals to 10. I had shown you all this. I showed you all complex all this. I'm not doing it again. Okay. Input function. Now this is a new function that you all are learning today. Input function. What is input function used for? Now, sometimes when we are writing a program, we need to get some input from the user. Let's say the program is double the age of the user and display it to him. The program, what you will do in this, what does the program say? Double the age of the user and show it to him. So in this, you will need some input from the user. Now, what input you will need? You will need his age. Yes, this is not a static program. You're going to show everyone 100 years or 80 years. No, this is going to change depending on the user's age. Correct? So we need user input. So while writing a program, many times we need to fetch some input from the user. The values inputted by the user are fetched and stored in the variable. Python provides 3 important functions for getting users' input. The first one is input method. Okay, so Python is going to give us 3 functions to take user input. Okay, we are only going to learn 2 out of those. Okay, so Python will provide 3 functions, but we are going to learn only 2, and at the moment only 1 actually. Input function. Input function is used to get data from the user while working with the script mode. I repeat, while working with the script mode, not interpreter mode. It enables us to accept an input string from the user without evaluating its value. So it just lets you take the string from the user. I repeat, this is very important. It enables us to take an input string from the user without evaluating its value. The function input continues to read input text from the user till it encounters a new line. So what happens is, if I had to ask the user his name, input would work perfectly because the name is string function. But over here, we have to ask the user his age. Age will be integer. And in input function, it does not evaluate the value the user gives you. So dynamic typing does not take place because implicitly, that is automatically, Python thinks input function will only take string from the user. Okay, I will teach you all how to pass over this hurdle. Don't rack your brains and get worried. Understand the function, what this function does. Okay, so this function helps us to get data from the user while working in script mode, number one. Number two, it enables us to take input string from the user without evaluating its value. And number three, the input will it will continue to take the input from the user till user presses the enter button, because that is, it encounters a new line. How do we go to a new line in computer? Using enter. So till the user is not going to press enter button, whatever he writes, if he writes an essay, he will take an essay as the input. Okay, if he's going to write symbols over there, he will take symbols. He's not going to evaluate the value. He's just going to take whatever the user says and he's going to put it in the variable. Okay, so an example will be, now this over here, can you see variable to hold the value? This entire thing is the name of a variable. And then you have the assignment operator, and then you have input, and in the bracket you have the word message. That means the word message over here is a variable again. Okay, so variable to hold the value is a variable which is the label for the memory location where the value will be stored. I will show you all this practically, don't worry. I just want to finish the slideshow before we go to the practical part. For example, P equals to input, enter the value. And then look over there, the X part, very important. There is a typecasting happening over here. Typecasting means changing the type of variable data value. Like I told you, whatever will be done in input will be considered as a string automatically, implicitly by the computer. So over here, explicitly, that means we are directly telling the Python, you're telling the Python that this time the input is not a string, it is an integer. Or we are telling the computer, we're telling the script mode that the input is going to be a float type or complex type or Boolean type, whatever type of data you are expecting from the user. Okay, so let's look at this. P equals to input, enter the value. So over here, whatever value will come and will be stored in P will be considered as string. Next, X equals to integer input, enter X value. Int over here, can you see the word int in the beginning? So over there, it means whatever value you get, you're going to convert it to integer and then save it into X. So X will have integer value to it. Okay, it reads the value, converts it to integer, and then stores the value. Over here, y equals to float input, enter y value. Over here, we are converting the value to float data type and then saving it in y. Okay, so now we'll see this practically and I will tell you the difference between the two. Okay, okay, first understand this. When I say a equals to 6 and we check the type, you will get integer. But when I say a equals to 6 and then check the type, I will get string. Anything in quotes is considered as a string, even if it is a number. What error can I get? When I say a plus 2, it will tell me you cannot apply this on a string because a is string type. But if I had a equals to 6 and then I said a plus 2, it would give me an answer. Okay, So very important for you to understand this so that you understand the program that we are going to do now. Okay. So I'm going to open my script mode. So I will go to file and say new file. This is my script mode. Looks like notepad. First things first, we are going to write a comment. So I'm going to say program to double the user's age and display. Okay, this is the program we are going to do. For this first, I need to tell the user, need to ask the user what is your age. So what I will do, I'm going to say age, this is the name of my variable. You can write anything, is equal to my assignment operator. And I'm going to say input, the name of my function, open bracket, close bracket. Inside that, whatever I put in quotes will be displayed to the user as a prompt with a blinking cursor telling the user he should reply. I repeat, after input, in brackets, in colons, in quotes, whatever I write will be displayed as a question to the user, which will end only when the user answers, when user types. So I will say, what is your age? Okay. Yes. Go down. Now I know I've got the user's age and it is going to be saved in the variable called age. Next is I'm going to say double. This is my second variable called double, where I am saying age multiplied by 2. You can also do age plus age. All methods are correct. Okay, age multiplied by 2. And finally, I'm going to print. That means I need to display. Yes, so I'm going to say double of your age is, so this is the string I want, and then after this I'm putting my variable double that has the result of double age. Okay, now I will save this. So you will save, will okay, it is saved. Next I will run it. Go to run module. What is your age? I'll say 50. Double of my age is 50. Now what happened? This is wrong. Why? Because I have not used typecasting. Let me show it to you all. So sorry, do this error again and again. Good, you get to see my face. Okay. So over here, if I have not put integer, so I write int. So now whatever age will come, we convert it to integer and then go. And when that is multiplied by 2, I will get the answer. When string is multiplied by 2, you only get that many times the string written. So if I say age into 10, I will get like 50 written 10 times. Okay, this is called replication. We will learn this when, I think I did this with you all once in string. So we will do it again when we do the entire chapter on string. Okay, let's run this again. Okay, before you run, have to save. So what is your age? I'm saying 50. Double of your age is 100. Yes. So what I want you all to do in this is find, I want you all to do half of the age. Yes. Do half of the age also. That will be your, on your own homework. This is what you're going to see and do. With this, I end today's class. Stay home, stay safe, take care, keep practicing.